You've worked hard to build a dream retirement. Now it's time to put that plan into action. This is Retire ATL with Aaron Vincent and Matt Decker. The team at Vincent Financial wants to help you build, protect, and grow income to get you to and through retirement. Now, Retire ATL with Aaron Vincent and Matt Decker.
This is the Retire ATL podcast, all powered by the Vincent Financial Group. You can get more when you visit retireatlradio.com. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for downloading. Now, let's get to the show. Aaron Vincent, Matthew Decker. Get into it. Olympic pride, the spirit.
Love it.
I do too.
That music is just great.
This time of the year, the Winter Olympics here now. It's on 24/7 in the Owens household. It's fun to get all into the Olympic spirit, but unfortunately, as we saw, downhill skier Lindsey Vonn was involved in a horrific crash, broke her leg, had to be airlifted. Let's be honest, most likely ended her historic career. Got a lot of respect for her. She knows the dangers of this sport, no stranger to the injuries, but she continued to compete and never gave up going for the gold. So Aaron Vincent, Matthew Decker, for the adults you serve, near and in retirement, there's always that thought in the back of our head. Am I prepared for the what ifs in the market? What if there's a crash? And on the flip side, we saw market highs last week. So how do you help adults slow down and take a little more control of their portfolio?
Well, it is true that nobody can afford a crash that they are not planning for at the wrong moment. And actually, this would be known as like a, if you want the technical term, sequence of return risk. So when we talk about a crash and the wrong moment, this is actually a math equation, which maybe that brings tears to some of your eyes, but to some people it's comforting. To me, it's comforting.
You're a math nerd.
Well, I just know that.
Prove it to me.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a math equation. Okay, well, then that means that I can see it. And if I can see it, maybe I can understand it. And you can understand this. I know that you can. It's super simple. If your retirement portfolio experiences poor timing, and what I mean by poor timing is, no one has a crystal ball. No one can control what the market's going to do from year to year. But we all recognize that there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. When those ups and downs happen, nobody really knows. But what sequence of return risk would say is that if you get your losses, if the market does not cooperate with your plans, which it doesn't consult you, so don't expect it to, but if the market doesn't cooperate with your plans and you experience losses or volatility or a crash in your early retirement years, it has a much greater impact on how much you can spend in retirement versus having those losses or volatility or crashes 10, 15, 20, 30 years into your retirement. So the order in which the market performs has a huge impact on how much you can spend in retirement. And so if you're not aware of that, if you're not prepared for that, if you still have the same portfolio that you had when you were in your 20s and your 30s, you're probably overexposed to that phenomenon. I'm not sure if you had anything to add to that. Aaron.
I do. Almost no one that comes into our office, and I say it that way on purpose because you shouldn't feel the pressure to know the answer to this before you come see us. All right. But almost no one who comes into our office can measure what the effects of a 2008, for example, situation would be on their current portfolio. Like, you hear horror stories. Like, in 2008, I lost half of my 401k. Well, maybe you did, and I hate it if you did. But
if you freaked out and went to cash, you did.
Correct. That's where I'm going next.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
No, that's okay. It's a perfect segue. You only lose that money if you make some dramatic change at that point. Or, to your point a second ago, or if you are taking income from your portfolio when that happens.
Because you have to.
You have to. You have to sell some of those assets, whether it's stocks or it's mutual funds or it's ETFs or it's bonds. You have to sell those things at the bottom, down 50%, to then fund your monthly bills, right? You're retired. You're getting your income from there. Well, if you can find a way around that, then even if you're 75 years old and the days of you working are way in the rearview mirror, you can be outside of the fear kind of cloud that is a 2008 happening all over again. When's the next big one? And Lindsey Vonn, I think she's famous for a lot of reasons. One of them is a huge crash she had. I think that's why you bring this up. But I guarantee you that she was aware of the risks in her life for going 80-something miles an hour downhill flying through moguls and all that entails, the chance for shattering your femur on this. I mean, gosh.
She went into that with eyes wide open.
I guarantee she had some insurance is my point. What's your insurance? I'm not talking about actual insurance necessarily. It might be like an actual policy. What I'm talking about is, what do you have in place in your portfolio that is insurance against some major volatility? Did you know that you can plan for that? And it's not maybe as complicated or as daunting or as expensive as you might think. And so what I would want anyone listening to know is that you don't have to be worried about that giant crash. Are there volatile moments in the markets coming? The answer is always yes, because you never know when they're going to happen. But do you have to be subject to them? You do not. And just by knowing that you have options, hopefully you know you have options. If you don't know what they are, let us know. We'd love to talk with you about that. 770-741-0120.
The point, though, is you most likely, how should I say that? I don't know.
Guaranteed that you might.
Yeah, guaranteed that you might have to take some action.
Right.
Right? You're not just going to be able to do nothing. The reason you don't have to worry about a crash is because you have agency over how you do things. Now, if you're just going to close your eyes and cross your fingers, then maybe you should worry about the next crash, but you don't have to. I think also, Aaron, it might be interesting because I know what a lot of people are going to think. They're going to think, well, I'm really well diversified. So, Aaron, if you knew the amount of ETFs that I owned, you'd be amazed at how well diversified my portfolio is. Right. And so I don't actually have to worry. You said the S&P, was down 40% in 2008, but I don't just own the S&P. I'm well diversified across a bunch of ETFs. What would you say to me?
I know exactly what I would say because we hear that all the time. And I would ask a question that I know you can't answer. And I ask it on purpose that way. Matt, what stocks do your ETFs or your mutual funds? I forgot what you said. It's the same thing.
ETFs.
Okay.
Let's just go ETFs.
What stocks are in your ETFs that you own?
Well, there's a bunch of them.
I thought you were going to say, I don't have stocks, I have ETFs. It was going to be another funny question. But
I don't have stocks. I have ETFs.
Okay, good. And since you're so well diversified, Matt, in your portfolio.
So well diversified.
Do you
I
think,
can do your job.
Is there a possibility?
In fact, you should listen. You should consult me. Right. I'm so well diversified. I might do this better than you.
I listen. Maybe you could. Let me just answer this question for me though. How do you ensure that the ETFs that you own aren't buying the same stocks?
Well, because I buy different ETFs.
Okay. So you have a Fidelity.
I got some Vanguard ones. Yeah. I got some Fidelity ones. I've got some in different sectors.
Right.
So I just make sure that I buy different ones.
And so you're aware that the Fidelity ETF manager doesn't buy the same stocks as the Vanguard one, right? That's what you're saying.
Well, they got different Morningstar reports, and they got one's a 4-star fund and one's a 5-star fund. And
I would say, Matt, you're a perfect candidate for our process. Because one thing's,
are you saying? Well, you're saying I'm not doing a good job?
What I'm saying is that you're dead wrong. You don't know it yet, and I don't want to offend you. This is how I'm saying.
So going through the process, I will gently come to the conclusion that I'm going to
let this is the beauty. I'm going to let our planning software be the bad guy and tell you how wrong you are so that you hate it and not me. That's what I'm saying.
In this hypothetical situation, I think Matt just became a client.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Congratulations.
But no.
I was butthurt and left.
Yeah. But that's right. He was offended and walked out the door with the coffee.
Right. I'm never coming back here
Bring
again.
my coffee mug back. No, but I know exactly where you're getting at, Matt. People all the time think that if they have ETFs or mutual funds or whatever, that they aren't over-invested in one sector or
they're not concentrated in one spot.
They're not concentrated in one spot. That's exactly right. They know that, or they think they do. But what one of the very first reports that we run is called a stock intersection. And what we find is that
it's one of the best.
It's so good. It's so good. What it does is it analyzes the current portfolio. And it just says, hey,
all your ticker symbols.
Here's where you are. Whether it's in your 401k or it's your IRA or it's your brokerage account, it doesn't really matter.
Whether it's ETFs or mutual funds or individual stocks, it doesn't matter.
Most folks have all the above.
Correct.
Kind of a combination of things. And so what you find, and what we find literally every day, is that almost all of those ETFs all bought NVIDIA. They all bought Microsoft. They all bought Meta. They all bought Broadcom. They all bought Tesla.
Eli Lilly. Yeah. They all bought Google.
Yeah.
So on and so forth.
You, even though you have ETFs, own 15% of your portfolio is in 2 stocks, and you had no idea.
Yeah, I've got 100 ticker symbols that are all supposed to be diversified themselves, right? I'm invested in an ETF or a mutual fund, and I'm doing that because they are doing the diversification for me, and I'm going to go above and beyond, and I'm going to diversify the diversified. I'm going to buy multiple ETFs and multiple mutual funds to get even more diversification. I'm so well diversified, it would make your head spin until you see the stock intersection report and you actually see that, oh, I own, to your point, I own NVIDIA in 40 of my ticker symbols. I'm literally just creating chaos. It's like the stock intersection report is kind of like, well, it's an intersection, stock intersection. So let's think of an actual intersection, cars on the road intersection. If I am driving north and you are driving east-west, what is the thing that keeps us from crashing in the intersection?
Bridges?
Stoplights? Bridges.
Roundabouts.
Bridges.
Well, if you're going north and if I go under.
When have you seen a bridge and an intersection?
He's saying like an overpass.
Like an overpass.
Yes.
I was imagining like the Golden Gate Bridge is keeping us from
a
crashing.
Four-way bridge.
A four-way bridge.
I want to see a four-way bridge.
Like an overpass.
Oh my gosh.
Overpass. So that way there's elevation of it's a
Overpass.
3D example, Matt.
Overpass.
A crossing guard?
I was thinking 2D. You were thinking 3D. Now I understand. Okay, no. Stoplights.
Okay.
The stoplights. The stoplights keep us from crashing into each other at the intersection when we're all going different ways. Well, every time you add a ticker symbol that owns all the same stuff as the other ticker symbol, what you just did is you added an additional manager to your portfolio, right? Because the Fidelity manager and the Vanguard manager are two different people. If they both own relatively the same stuff, now you have two people making decisions, both owning the same thing, and they don't even know your name. All right? Like, that's just the reality. They don't know who you are. And they are trading that portfolio for Fidelity. They are trading that portfolio for Vanguard. They're not trading it for you. And every time you add one of these ticker symbols that owns all the same stuff as every other ticker symbol that you have, it's like adding a stoplight to the intersection. And pretty soon, before you know it, you're driving down the road.
Feels
and
like 41.
You come up to an intersection and you're looking up and there's 14 different sets of traffic lights. And they're all showing different things. And you have a pile up in the intersection. So you think you're diversified, but really you're just creating chaos. And this happens all the time. Not to mention, my gosh, if these are mutual funds, you are literally paying fees to not have diversification. You are paying fees to add confusion into your plan by having different funds owning the same underlying securities, trading them without you in mind, and you're paying fees for that? Oh my.
And if you have a financial advisor who's using mutual funds, you're paying your advisor a fee.
You're paying a fee on a fee.
And you're paying your mutual fund manager a fee. So you're paying double fees, and they're working often in direct conflict with each other as far as that goes.
How do people not realize how much they're paying in fees?
Every day. Every day. I mean, every day.
Every day.
Matt, I have a question for you. If a person doesn't go through this process and do some sort of analysis, we call it the stock intersection, just some sort of deeper dive. If they don't do that, how or when will they find out they've been so far overinvested and not diversified? What will be the thing that causes them to actually get educated if they don't educate themselves first?
I think that if you're looking at your portfolio, you will probably feel the effects before you know the cause of the effects.
Yeah.
So you will look at your portfolio and you'll see, okay, the S&P is down 2% today, but my portfolio's down 8%. How am I so divergent from the number one kind of king gorilla in this space? Why am I so much worse off? And then, so you'll feel the effect before you'll know the cause.
Yeah.
And you'll have to do some digging, actually, to find the cause. But if you know how to do the digging, which most people don't because it's not easy. Like, this is not easy.
We pay thousands of dollars a
Yes.
year for these tools to diagnose these things. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is difficult, but if you are able to get under the hood, you'll say, oh, well, it's because I've got like 12% of my portfolio is in Meta, and Meta had a bad day.
So you went one layer deeper. The question I was after is, What usually tells you that you have this problem, if you don't do the analysis first, is pain.
Right.
You find out through pain. You find out through, oh no, I wanted to retire next year. That thing happened in the markets. I had no idea that 40% of my portfolio was in tech stocks. Didn't have any idea. I thought I was diversified well because I've got, to your point, 50 different ETFs. They've all got tech stocks, and they've all got the same 10 tech stocks. I found out the hard way. Now I've got to either hope and pray this rebounds quick, or I got to work longer. It's pain. And I think what a shame that is. Like, you can find out sooner. You can know the effect of this reality if you want to. And our process is set up to where, like, I want to say it again, it doesn't cost you a penny. All it costs you is some time to go through our process. We feel like the burden of proof is on us to show you the value through our 3-step process of hiring us as your financial advisor before you become our client. And so you can know the answer to these questions. Are you well diversified? Or kind of what's your control mechanisms for making sure that you're, allocated correctly? You can know all these things before you pay us a fee. I want everyone to know that. And so if you're interested in finding out, look, even if you just want to know, what's my stock intersection look like? These guys call it this roadmap, this, kind of cluster of 50 car pileup at the stoplight I don't even know I have. If you want to know if you have that or not, even stopping short of, do you want to go through our full 3-step process? Just find out that much. Call us. 770-741-0120 or retireatlradio.com.
Well, they wouldn't have the pileup if they had an overpass or a bridge.
That's right. I mean, that was actually a genius answer to my question. It just threw me for such a loop.
Thank you for see, every now and then.
You were thinking 3D, I was in 2D.
You ever heard of ski mountaineering? Ski mountaineering. It's a brand new sport in this year's Winter Olympics.
Like cross country, some kind of
navigating
with
go
skis
up
on?
the mountain?
Yep, you climb up a mountain and then you ski
With
down.
skis on your back or
Yep,
something?
a rapidly growing human-powered winter sport combined alpine climbing and backcountry skiing.
I'm not going to lie.
That sounds like a blast.
Awesome.
Oh, that sounds awful. That's horrible.
No,
No
that
way.
sounds like
That
sounds amazing.
Y'all do the 29029 as well.
We
Y'all
do that, yeah.
If you don't know, 29029 is Everesting, where basically you go climb a mountain that's the length or the height of Mount Everest.
Yep.
And it takes you a couple of days to do it, and you have a certain amount of time to do it and a lot of training. And Aaron, you've done it. Matt, have you done it yet?
Yeah, I did it. My
You did?
Achilles is still sore. It was a year ago.
we both did the one in Sun Valley, Idaho last year, and we're doing the Whistler one this year.
Ugh.
But the chance to ski down
That'd be a
would
lot more fun.
Fantastic.
It'd be a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I went to my mailbox and didn't get winded. So
Hey,
thank you very much.
that's a big step.
Teacher 770-741-0120, retireatlradio.com. We got a couple of minutes here. I want to talk quick about this time of the year. Everybody is thinking about their tax strategy. And we've talked about the advantages of doing an IRA to a Roth conversion. Basically, take the tax hit up front and enjoy tax-free gains and withdrawals. If you missed it, it's our conversation about being grounded or getting a spanking.
That's right.
That's the IRA to Roth conversion.
Who wants a spank?
Who wants a spanking?
I mean, I'd choose the spanking.
I choose the spanking.
Over the grounding?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, get it over with.
That's right.
And of course, by the way, you can walk into Vincent Financial Group and say, I want a spanking. They will know exactly what
I'm
you
here
mean
for the spanking.
in the purest of forms.
People have done that.
In
People
the
have
most-
done that.
Most adult ways. So there was an article, somebody wrote into Market Watch, and they said that they found an advisor who can do a Roth conversion and not pay the taxes. But this quote-unquote secret method will cost $5,000. Listen, gentlemen, I learn from y'all every week, and I try to understand your industry. But one thing I think I'm pretty confident on, a secret method when it comes to an IRA to Roth conversion, even I have my spidey senses going off. The red flag should be going
We've
up.
done a good job.
There's a lot of recent news about what happens when you trust a financial advisor who's got a secret method. I'm not sure if you've heard the news recently, but right here in Atlanta, major
yeah.
Ponzi scheme recently.
Like $300 million?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know all the details, but I guarantee there were some kind of conversations about, I got a secret thing that's going to work out for you. Trust me.
Don't
Yeah,
tell
so,
anybody.
Mark, you're exactly right. Anytime there's a secret method that most don't know about, and hey, just pay me a fee and I'll take care of it for you. If you hear that, at the very least, you should ask some very pointed questions and maybe you should just run away.
There's a good chance that with a lot of these methods, like, look, every single year, there's people that read the tax code and they try to come up with like workarounds and loopholes. And this has been going on forever, right? There were like Section 79 plans. There were conservation easements. There's oil and gas investments and opportunity zones. And there's all kinds of stuff, right? Every year, there's a new thing that everybody jumps on. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, now this to me sounds super sketch, okay? So I'm not saying this is in the same boat. I'm just saying in general, whenever you get into these like fancy boutique tax plays, it's more than likely going to show up as a listed transaction, which if you don't know what a listed transaction is, it's basically just raising your hand to the IRS saying like, hey, I did something in the gray area.
Please audit me.
Yeah, this is in the gray area, and I'm just letting you know in case you want to double check it. And if you get audited, we had a client that called in a couple weeks ago, and he was asking about tax strategies, and I asked him about like what he had done in the past, and he's like, well, I did some of these things, and it worked for a year, and then I got audited last year, and that was horrible. And so just, you got to be careful. Anytime it's secret, anytime you're skirting the rules, you just have to know that you are exposing yourself to probably more risk than you actually know.
If they come to you and they say, we've got a secret method or a secret methodology, all I'm going to say is that is the gold medal of red flags.
That's right.
There. Hey, gentlemen.
Sponsored by Birch Gold.
770-741-0120. As always, that initial consultation with Aaron, Vincent, Matthew Decker, the team of the Vincent Financial Group, it's no cost, no obligation. 770-741-0120 or retireatlradio.com.
Insurance products are offered through the Insurance Business Advanced Planning Group. Vincent Financial Group is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Advanced Planning Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Advanced Planning Group and IPW are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be constructed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Vincent Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained by sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Vincent Financial Group. This podcast is a paid placement.